everyone, and welcome to Topics in Modern British Literature Before 1900 with a course theme of 19th century British literature and adaptation. I'm your professor this semester. This summer semester, I go by Dr. Benhardis, Professor Benhardis, or just plain Nalene, and I prefer she, her, and hers pronouns. I want to provide in this video a quick overview of what you can expect each week during this class. First of all, it will be most helpful to you if you access the course through this home icon right here, because that's going to help you see the modules for each week. As you can see at the top of the page, I've got a Getting Started module. That's mostly stuff that I'd like you to look over today, assuming that today is Tuesday or the first day that you're accessing the class. This is all good first day kind of information. You'll see that we've got this syllabus for the semester here. Please do take time and read it because it's going to give you all kinds of helpful information about course policies and grading policies, and learning objectives, media requirements, all of that jazz. The other thing that I'd like you to look over very carefully is the course calendar. This I've done as a grid, a spreadsheet to kind of show you what you need to do for each day. So you'll see that I've got the days of the week over here. And I have a to-read column, a to-do column, and then assignments due is for major assignments. You'll see further down that there are things like your midterm, when your major paper is due, when your adaptation review is due. So this is important because this will help you make sure that you're doing everything you need to do by the day it's due. In a summer class, things are going to be due every day. It's going to be a fairly work-intensive 6 weeks because we're taking what we normally do in 16 weeks and condensing it into 6. So staying on top of the schedule and following it is going to help keep that work manageable, and also making sure that you get full credit for the work that you do because everything will be done on time. So that's our course calendar here. The other thing that I've done that I'll guide you to is that I've got the week set up as individual modules. So anything that you need to access for the week should be under the week that it will be due. So for week 1, for example, we've got Introductions, 19th Century Adapts, Adaptations Through Perspectives. These two are things for you to read. And the week 1 lecture, which will be something for you to watch. So on and so forth as we go down. We only got the first 2 weeks set up as of the recording of this video, but that's where you'll be able to find all the information. Then major assignments are down here at the bottom. I've done my best to set things up with a sort of structure so that each week looks more or less the same. Obviously, we only have a 3-day week for week 1. We only have a 3-day week next week as well because of Memorial Day. But I've done my best to keep the structure roughly the same. It just, things might be shifted a day or two around things like major assignments or a holiday like Memorial Day. But you will have tasks to complete and or a Zoom class to attend every day, Monday through Thursday that we are having class. You'll complete readings from our novels almost every day of this term. We're reading 5 of them, or actually 4 novels and then a collection of short stories across 6 weeks. So that comes out to almost 1 novel a week. So plan your reading time accordingly. On Mondays, you'll usually watch and respond to a lecture video that I've recorded. And you'll also make an initial post under a question of the week forum right here. This week, first week, we don't have one, but those will start in week 2. You'll have a question of the week. And you'll want to make your first initial response to that on Monday. Then on Tuesdays, or whatever day it's due for those weeks that don't have Mondays, the next day of the week, you'll have some kind of supplementary reading usually. Often it'll be either something that I've written to kind of synthesize a bunch of information on a topic for you, or it will be an excerpt of or a full journal article from an academic journal. Those, like the lectures, you will read, watch, and then respond to in a short paragraph. You'll also go back to that question of the week and respond to 2 classmates' posts. Then Wednesday and Thursday are when we do our synchronous learning, which means on Wednesday we'll get together on Zoom to watch some clips from adaptations, and then on Thursdays we'll get together on Zoom to discuss the novel, the adaptations, and any other course material. So as I said, this is the plan for most weeks. A few weeks will look different. For this week, for example, we're getting started, so the readings and lectures will be due on slightly different days. There won't be a question of the week. We're doing an introduction forum instead. You can see here, I've done my little introduction. I've even included a picture of me and my puppy. So that is, that's just hopefully a rough sense of the structure, but please do plan for some flexibility there. I do have a few tips. And of course, use the course calendar. When in doubt, follow that. If you're doing what it says to do on that day and you finish it by the end of the day, you'll be good to go. But a few tips in terms of the technology side of things. For Zoom classes, you can always access those classes by going down here to Zoom, clicking it, and then you'll see that all of the classes that are planned for the rest of the term are right here, and you can just click join when you're ready to join. Secondly, I'll use mostly discussion forums to post most of my lectures and supplementary readings because I do usually require responses. For example, here, there's an article here that I've written for you to read, and then I ask you to respond in a short paragraph to that question that's related to the article. So the plan there is, or the tip there is for you to always make sure that what you've typed has actually posted. I've had students say, I typed this up, I thought I submitted it, but I guess I didn't. And I can be flexible if that happens once or twice throughout the semester. But beyond that, I'm going to really expect you to be responsible for that side of the technology, that even if it means that you refresh the page to make sure that whatever you wrote posted, just double check to make sure that your posts always post, because sometimes icon can be a little tricky, so it's important to make sure that everything's working the way that it's supposed to. Then finally, please do stay in touch with me. I will be holding office hours on Thursday afternoons, and that means you can connect with me either through my Zoom meeting room, you can connect with me through my phone. I've given you my cell phone number. You can email me and I'll respond to you during that time. If you have any questions, please ask sooner than later. The sooner you ask, the more I'm able to help. And then for Zoom classes, if you ever have an excused reason why you can't make a Zoom class, let me know before class begins. I can give you an alternate assignment. If you have a technical problem and you need one of those alternative assignments as well, you can get in touch with me as soon as possible and we can set something up. And in terms of email, I will respond to emails within 24 to 48 hours, sometimes sooner, but especially when major papers are due, it sometimes takes that 24 to 48 hours to respond. I'm going to be grading weekly work, which are the discussion forum responses and online participation type things, on a weekly basis at the end of the week. I'll go to grades here, which is where you can access your grades. And then the major things like the adaptation review, paper, and midterm exam will take roughly 4 to 5 days for me to grade all of. But you can follow your grade here. And again, always feel free to follow up with questions, but the rubric, especially for that weekly stuff, is in the syllabus, so again, make sure you're reading the syllabus. I am looking forward to seeing some familiar faces again this semester. I'm also really excited to meet a lot of new people during this term, so please do not hesitate to reach out. I'm looking forward to a fun semester. talking about some really great works of literature with you, and also watching some adaptations with you, some really great, some which we'll just have fun with. So thank you all, and I'll see you later this week on Zoom. Bye!